Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial. For this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make this stitch that I was messing around with the yarn and discovered. And I named this stitch the Glover Stitch. Just was trying to think of something that sounded simple and didn't really mean much about anything. So it looks interesting from this opposite side. I'll show pictures of it. It almost looks like there's these tears that come down because of the way the stitch is done. And every angle the stitch looks a little different. So I really like that, and it really sticks out more, and you can see the texture of the stitch a lot more with bigger yarn. That's why I recommend bigger yarn. And this was the purpose for this stitch anyway. So, and what you want to do is just chain in multiples of 2, and it's going to be different no matter depending on the kind of yarn that you're using. So I recommend going ahead and making a chain, and do it loosely because usually the chains can get tighter than the rest of the blanket. So even if you have to use the bigger hook to do the beginning chain, just to make sure it's looser, then go for it. So once you have your multiples of 2, then before you get started, go ahead and chain one more, and then you're going to be going into the second chain from the hook. So 1, 2, let me get that a little closer here. So 1, 2, and you're going to insert your hook into the first stitch. Then yarn over and pull up a loop. Now you want to yarn over and then go into the next stitch and then pull up a loop. So you have 4 loops on your hook. Once you have your 4 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and then, and very important, chain 1. And then you can continue to your next stitch. You go right into the very next stitch. Without yarning over, just go right into it, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, get your third loop there. Then you will go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, 4 loops on the hook. Once you have your 4 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and chain 1. Go into the very next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the next stitch and pull up a loop, pull through all 4 loops, and chain 1. And you'll continue this all the way down. Okay, I just pulled through all 4 of my loops on my very last stitch of the row, and at the very end of your row, instead of just chaining 1, you always want to chain 2. So 1, 2. So instead of just chaining the 1 to end normal stitch, at the very end of your row, make sure you chain 2, because you're going to be using one of those chains as part of the first stitch. So if you can see, you have 1, 2 chains. Well, this chain, the very first chain here that you did, is going to be your very first stitch. This is the one that you're going to go through the front loop only here and pull up a loop. Then you'll yarn over, and then the second stitch here, which is kind of a big one, so it should be easy to see, you want to go under both loops of that one, and you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and chain 1. Again, your very first of the 2, you're only going to be going through the front loop only, and pull up a loop, yarn over. Then the next stitch you'll go through under both loops, pull up a loop, then chain 1. Then again, go through the front loop only, pull up a loop, yarn over, then go under both loops of the next stitch, pull through all 4 loops, and chain 1. And again, you'll want to continue this all the way to the end. Just finishing my last stitch of my row, and again, once you pull through all 4 loops, chain 2, and then turn. Then you'll repeat that last row that you did over and over again. So remember, always chain 2 at the end. Then you'll be going into only the front loop, pulling up a loop, yarn over, then go through both, under both loops, pull up a loop, pull through all 4 and chain 1. And you'll continue this pattern until your blanket or scarf or whatever you're making has reached its desired size. But this one is a chain, so it's very difficult to go underneath both of them, and so especially with bulky yarn it would be hard to be able to see it. So by only going through the front loop of it, it makes it easier for you, and not to mention it adds a really nice texture on the back. But the second one, always go under both of the loops, but it's a pretty big stitch, so it should be pretty easy to find. And you're just going to continue this over and over and over again. And like I said, see, from every angle, this it looks kind of like this one looks like it's a rose being grabbed by a stitch. I mean, every single angle of this stitch looks different, and I think with bulky yarn, it's really going to look nice and textured, and it looks the same on both sides because you're going back and forth. So that's it, guys. That's how you make the Glover stitch. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to click like. If you haven't checked me out on my website, please feel free to do that. You can find the link in the description box below. I have patterns to all these videos that you see on my YouTube channel. Also, if you want to check me out on Facebook or Tumblr or Twitter or any of those social media places, also all the links to where you can find me is in the description box below. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.